Just like that, we should be on. Hello, guys, it's me, Mythos, back at it again with yet another the evening report. And now it's evening for real. So, I just wanted to start off by saying that we are going to do like a mega report today where we talk about what is going on in the arm wrestling scene. As you can see, I have a tons of videos. We'll not review all of them. We'll just review in general what has happened. I also will finish right around the time that this podcast begins because it's East versus West, and we need to, of course, support the athletes and listen to what they have to say in the main organization channel. So, that being said, we have about 40 minutes, so I thought I will keep it as usual. We'll discuss the report of what has happened today so far. And then after that, we will talk a little bit in general about the arm wrestling scene. And then I thought that we could check the Reddit, what is going on the Reddit. So, without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? Booyakasha! You already saw it before, Bogdan and Stoika without monster side pressure. So, in this video, Bogdan Stoika is talking about how you should train side pressure in his experience. It's different than what most arm wrestlers do, and it's different than what the side pressure king Todd Hutchins does. I think that this might fit for people that are new to the sport. I think that Hutchins' method might perhaps be a bit too hardcore for someone getting into it. But without further ado, I'll just shortly summarize it and then you can go watch the legend himself explain it. So basically, when we do back pressure and rise, and when we do pronation and back pressure, and when we do some supination work, all of these, if you change the angle slightly, so if we have the pulley at an angle, then you can do the pronation work with added side pressure. You can do the same for the rise. You can do the rise coming that way instead. And he will also show all of this when he gets to the pulley system. And like I said, to get a further look into it, then you should go watch Bogdan Stoika's video. But the whole philosophy is that you are training the main objects, back pressure, rise, pronation, but you are adding side pressure so that everything works as a chain. And for him, it has worked out beautifully up to this point in his career. And we will see how it continues to develop in the East versus West or rather higher level competition, if it will still keep up. But so far, from what we saw with Paulin and with Nugo, his side pressure was keeping up really well. Both matches were pretty dominant by Bogdan Stoika. So, on to the next one. And we go. The next video in the list, we have Laletin versus Matishenko. So, God bless subtitles, because we can actually read what they are saying. So yeah, right there. So in this video, they are talking about general training stuff and how it feels to train with a trainer. Because right now, Vitaly is training with Eldar. That's his coach's name. And he has never done that before. So they are talking a little bit about that. And then in the video, they go to discuss about the Devon situation and the match that they had on the left arm and how it will go on the right arm. Vitaly is being respectful. At the same time, he's calling out the referees. And he also brought up an interesting point, and I don't know how accurate it is, but I don't see any reason for Vitaly to lie either. So unless somebody has lied to Vitaly, he said in this video that Devon actually was himself not satisfied with refereeing for the left-handed match, and that he would like other referees for the right-handed match. That was a pretty interesting point that Vitaly made in this video. And then further on, he was saying that on the left arm, of course, he was the stronger man that day, so it didn't matter what happened on the table. And on the right arm, even if you were to lose, he still feels that it's not really a bother, because he believes that they gave a really good battle on the left arm, and he believes that he can do the same on the right arm, and thus it will be legendary. That being said, they discussed the Alizan and the Artyom match, where they talked about, or in this case, Ivan Matushenko. He has pulled both the men, and he believes that inside the hook lane, when it comes to Alizan, he's a bit more explosive, he has a bit more of a pop, whilst Artyom Morozov is better at holding that position, and he couldn't really expose that when he fought with Artyom, but perhaps Alizan will be able to do that. And from what I understand, he has a slight favor for Alizan because of how their matches have like went back in the day when they have fought with each other. And he believes that it's not impossible for Artyom to win, of course. And then Vitaly has never pulled Alizan, so he didn't want to make like a very clear prediction. He was instead talking about that he knows that he will have to prepare for either one of them. And in his mind, it will actually be better if they pulled someone like Daddy Khan or Devon Larratt before they face Vitaly. But that was his opinion. The organization has a different idea, so we go with the organization. So yeah, that's pretty much this video. A lot of good stuff. On to the next one. Booyakasha. Devon knew he couldn't have beaten Vitaly on the concrete elbow. Like that. So yeah, in this video he discusses about the left-handed match, and it's based on what Devon said on this live stream that he did a couple of days ago. Excuse me about that. So yeah, it's all about the physical concrete elbow report, you know, you dig. And yeah, what can I say? I mean, Devon did not look confident, and that's why he tried to break that shit. I think even in this video he shows it. Yeah, exactly.
As hard as I could, and you know, the first time I
he went as hard as he could to break that shit. So yeah, that's pretty much this video, and thus we go on to the next one. The double flex, you know, it's in the contract. We need to double flex whenever we are in the Hollywood Matt Connolly channel. Of course, I really love what Matt is doing. I really love his stuff, and he did a lot of podcasts in the last couple of days actually, and all of them are great. In this particular one, he has Hollywood Don Underwood, the original Hollywood, and they are discussing about his career and who he was back in the days when he was pulling in Arm Wars. But they were also discussing nowadays that how Hollywood Don Underwood has gotten into this position where he's helping develop the sport, and he's liking what is going on when it comes to the last man standing, and he would like to do something similar like that in the US with the help of Greg, the guy that has also show that is in season 5 currently. A lot of stuff actually going on behind the scenes, and I really like that all of these different podcasts like The House and even Through the Fingers podcast, they like talk about each other, so these smaller organizations know about each other and they seem to hint at each other all the time. So I would really like if the smaller organizations, if they could work together in a way, could they like make something grander? That would be interesting. And I know that East Side Arm Wrestling, perhaps they discuss it in this live as well. Like I said, I have seen so many lives with Matt Connolly, so I don't remember in which live stream they talked about it. But they had a moment where they show that East Side Arm Wrestling is actually collaborating with Matt Connolly and his team to bring forward the Last Man Standing, but in their country instead. And I believe the Last Man Standing will actually also be in New Zealand, and it will be Heta Morris that will guide that whole process forward. I'm jumping a bit ahead of myself of this report. But yeah, so in this one, they are discussing on his past, how he was before, more self-destructive. He made a lot of mistakes growing up, like all of us do. We are all human after all. And I really like what uh, I always butcher his name. He's really popular into the troll accounts. But yeah, formerly Creamy. He writes it very beautifully right here. And yeah, in summary, everything is going great so far. The promotions just keep on coming, and we'll have a lot of stuff in the near future. Now, on to the next one. Booyakasha.
Hello guys, welcome back to Concrete Elbow.
Welcome back to Concrete Elbow. So, East vs West 23, like always. And here we have the topic on Devon currently. He has not really worked on his left arm. He's not really peaking with it. He has only done a couple of rehabs. He's saying that in his live as well. And then he also discusses on perhaps he will go full-blown pumpkin when it comes to the right-handed match with Levan if he succeeds in the match with Vitali. And we all know that he'll stick it hard on the right arm. It will not be a hook, it will be outside and then perhaps a hook. We'll see about that. But yeah, so Devon might go full-blown pumpkin training for the Levan rematch. So let's start the hype trains now, shall we? So yeah, like always, go and watch the video on the main channel of Concrete Elbow. And with that being said, on to the next one. Once again, we're back with Hollywood Matt Connolly. And it will be a blasphemy if I didn't... I have to. It's part of the contract, man.
Welcome to Arm Wrestling tonight. This is Hollywood Matt Connolly. With the double biceps, it is in the contract and legal.
Yes. Double flex. So this guy, unfortunately, I have forgotten his name. They brought it up during the live a couple of times. But he's basically the team behind the AWE Last Man Standing. He, together with Matt Connolly and Matt Connolly's wife, from what I have understood, they are the ones pulling the strings and directing everything. And this stream was mostly really good fun. Like they were discussing AWE and Last Man Standing, and then they were also going through what will be the future of it all. And then they were also making fun about the Last Man Standing that's gonna be in oh, here we go. It was in this live stream that they were talking about with the East Side presentation, but they also discussed it in this one about the New Zealand. Let me check it. It was a bit later perhaps, or a bit earlier. I'm not sure currently. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't watched Last Man Standing, I didn't do that a couple of months ago when it was released, but I checked it out in this last week. And Last Man Standing is quite fun to watch. It's really just competitive pulling time after time again, and you can see how the cogwheels are like operating when the athletes are really trying to get into it and be active in the whole situation, you know. So it's really cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I would really like to bring up the Heta Morris. Oh, they discussed about the T-Series as well. Not the channel, not the Bollywood channel, of course. But yeah, they discuss about this. And here we go, Last Man Standing. And it's gonna be with the Beast, Hamilton, New Zealand. And it's happening on the 25th of July, 2026. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be epic. Great work. That being said,
Would you talk about your current steroid protocol, or is
can you guess who that is? Booyakasha, Devon Larratt on his steroid intake. Not really. So, Brazilian arm wrestler did a coverage of what he was talking about in his live once again. Devon made a big live. As you can see, Devon is really he's really shy right now when it comes to the drug abuse. And he discussed on his life, and this is what Brazilian arm wrestler is covering right here, that of course steroids is part of the game at the highest level, and he does it, but he doesn't want to say exactly what he does. And he believes, because he has a big audience that is young people, that it's not responsible of him to actually bring stuff like this up. You should first create your life, have children, have a family, and then consider it if you want to be at the highest level. And even at that, you should have an expert helping you out. You shouldn't do it on your own. A lot of mistakes will happen then. So yeah, this is what this video is about. And I think Brazilian arm wrestling towards the end, exactly. I mean, the man's memory is insane, because this is an old video. I am guessing it was on Leonida's channel, where they had met this guy that was basically, as you will see.
Arm wrestling?
No, no.
No.
He's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
We've known each other a long
Should I
time.
tell what I'm doing?
Yeah, whatever.
I'm the drug dealer.
So yeah, he's a drug dealer. Great fun stuff. And as always, go and like that shit, subscribe to Brazilian Arm Wrestler. He does lovely stuff all the time. Oh, talking about lovely stuff, my favorite channel, the Arm Breakdown. So is Michael Todd done with super heavyweights? So of course he's covering what has happened with Michael. He has dropped a lot of videos in the last couple of while. And something that I forgot in yesterday's report, Michael is also doing like a closed in-house event. I think it was 1st of May until the 3rd of May, where he will be with John Brezink and 12 other dudes, and they will train, eat, talk with each other, discuss arm wrestling and other stuff, and basically hang around. And that's why it's such a closed community, so to say. With that being said, we go back to the arm breakdown video, where he also discusses Devon's opinion, that was that Michael should cut to 105, and if he does that correctly, he should challenge Oleg Petrenko, and he believes that it's going to be a very interesting match, and he does think that Michael Todd could perhaps take it if he does everything correctly. And just like that, I will not say anything else. You just go, you like that shit, you subscribe, and you check out Arm Breakdown. Engage with his content, because he's amazing, and we need to provide support for everybody that is creating good quality arm wrestling content. That being said, on to the next one. Booyakash.
Looks like it might be a foul before the pin.
As always, I will try not to spoil the match. This is in Greg's channel in the G2F Sports and Films and Entertainment. You need to like that shit, and you need to subscribe, because they drop a lot of WSA regional stuff currently. And I think I wrote it in the comments in one of these videos. It will be really nice. This is what I think is missing currently. If we have some sort of title card, so that we know like who is who. Right now, because I don't know these people, unfortunately, I am not into the US arm wrestling scene that much. I'm not following it as closely as perhaps I should. I don't know who Robert McNair is, and I don't know who Trey Harrison is, and in the description I don't really understand who is who. I don't have any like know-how of who is the winner and stuff like that. So I believe that it will be much better in the future if we either include in the description, so that we know the winner of this match was this guy, or title cards. It will be beautiful. That's all I have to say. Otherwise, great stuff, and go and like and watch this shit. On to the next one. Booyakash.
He's just kind of giving it up.
Manu, Miso, Tomo Stubblebine. Like always, Tom Stubblebine with that great stuff. Here he's analyzing what went on in the Alizan versus Zeranov practice pool. And of course he's saying that you can't really judge it, because you never know who is who, like how the training went, if you are fresher or not, and stuff like that. And I don't want to say too much more about this video. You should go and check out Tom's analysis either way. what I saw from the practice pool, my own 2 cents in the whole scenario, is that Alizan is looking pretty good even on the right arm, even under these practice pool circumstances. But at the same time, I did see that Serrano was sometimes like giving a bit more rope for Alizan to work. So I don't think that he's really at that top level. And I was also shocked to see Tom Stubblebine in the beginning of the video. If I remember correctly, he shows the rank that Zeranov is in. And I had missed that Zeranov is not even top 10 anymore. That's something I missed. So let us see. He pulls up the rankings at some point.
Anov is a guy who's, I think people would say he's probably top 15 super heavyweight on the right arm, although the rankings,
Top 15 says?
he's not even...
Oh, he's not even in the list. Yeah, that's why I don't remember it. So yeah, Zeranov is not even in the list anymore, even if he's in the conversation. I suppose that he should pull a bit more and actually try to crack at that top 10. From what I see here, we have Georgi at number 10, Alex Kudecha, Artyom Morozov. I think he could really challenge Georgi personally. So Svetkov, he could really challenge because of his style. It's a bit awkward, I would say. Alex Kudecha might be a bit difficult if Alex cracks him. Artyom Morozov could be interesting, but I believe perhaps they had pulled before. I'm not sure, actually. Currently, I don't remember. Michael Toll was pretty close. Yeah, that's why I say I really thought that Geranov was in that top 10, but yeah, no, this makes sense. A lot of these pullers have actually beat him, so fair enough. The super heavyweights are pretty stacked currently, so we need to see a bit more challengers, you know, for that super heavyweight spot, that 10th spot. Before we had Dave Chafee, he was knocking mofos down, and he was like, yeah, you're not super heavyweight enough. Get down, boy. You come back in like 6 months and let's see if you can still handle the pressure. But right now, we don't have a Dave Chafee, so I guess like Georgi, he needs to have Dave Chafee's spot currently. On to the next
you're a
one.
beginner,
Once
try
again,
not to-
Thomas Tabelbein in a grinder of a tournament. And I did want to discuss this tournament in this live if we have time. But here he breaks down a little bit of what happened. Oh, I forgot to like Blasphemy. You go and like that video and subscribe like always to the Manu, the Meat, the Top. That being said, Booyakasha, back to the whole situation. Georgian arm wrestling was so intense, so crazy, and this match in particular, like, woo, you should just go and really check out AWC Garayelevi, because that shite went hard, yo, hard. And yeah, I think we have one more video when it comes to like the news, and then we go back to the arm wrestling world in general. So, Mindaugas Tarasaitis on his thoughts on Mayan Steregan and Zurabo Tavbarite. East versus West 23 by the GOAT himself. Oh man, I love Mindaugas. He's going back and forth a bit. He's talking also about Mayan's potential and how he has climbed in the categories. And currently he will pull at the 95 or 105. I don't quite remember. And Mindaugas Tarasaitis, he thinks that this is mostly a test by the league to exactly see where Mayan's level is, because he's really impressive, but he hasn't really been pushed at that high top end level. And I think that Zurab, he's high enough of a level, like he has challenged Ron Bath before, and he did have a good match with Brazink, even though there were a lot of controversial calls in that one. No matter, he has had plenty good matches before in East versus West. So this is a good level check to see if Mayan is above that level or if he's right there, thereabouts, you know? So we're going to see. It's an interesting match, and Mindaugas thinks that it's an interesting match, but perhaps Mayan is not yet at that level. That's the thoughts, that's the opinions. Lastly, Camilo Jablonski. In this video, he does a little bit of exercises. It's auto-dubbed, so take it as you will. You can't really trust it all the time. But from what I gathered up, he's talking a little bit about how he's doing cup training and hand-based training just so that he keeps everything healthy and strong, because everything works like chains. So even if he doesn't use that top roll or stuff like that, you still have to work it because you become more efficient in your position. He also talked a little bit about the Michael match and how he felt, even though he was like pumping up and he was feeling like he was starting to fade a little bit, Michael was also fading. So he believes that these type of exercises where he's sitting and doing a lot of pumping movements
someone that I use it in practice, so I train it.
like
So I
this.
caught some smartass that way.
So these types of exercises are actually helping him also with his endurance a lot. He truly believes that. And yeah, it's a general practice video where he's just training and he's talking about his setup a bit, and he's talking about what has happened in the past and also how he's feeling currently. That's pretty much everything for this video as well. Now, let's check how much time we have left. We have a whopping 16 minutes. Oh my god, in 16 minutes, I can go around the whole world, come back, and then do it one more time, you know? So, I'm gonna talk actually about the results in the Swedish SM, Sveriges Mästerskap. And to talk about that, I would also like to plug my main man. Where is he at? I have it not there apparently. Where do I have it? Well, if I don't have it anywhere, then I will bring him forward. Let me do a new link. You already know him. He's Sat TV, Swedish arm wrestling TV. And I don't know why they didn't bring it up, but he'll be up. Here we go. My main man. He placed actually third in his category at the 65, I believe. Oh, he posted this video. I didn't check it yet. So it's the Swedish Nationals, the senior left arm for everybody actually. So the finals. He also put up this video 4 days ago. So as you can see, he's very active in putting out content for arm wrestling from a Swedish perspective. So that's always very good to see. And here we can see the results. We have the left arm for the men, 55 kg, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. And then we continue 90, 100, 110, 110 plus, so basically super heavyweights. And then we have the ladies. Ladies, 50 kg, 55, 60, 65, 70. And then we go 80, 90, 90 plus. And then we are back to the right arm. And of course, you can always pause and check out all the results. Right now, I'm going a bit quick because we only have like 15 minutes left. Right. 70, 75. Like I said, I think that he placed on the right arm 60. Here, perhaps. And we continue 70, 75, 80 kg. I would like to just say congrats to Felix Sirén, because my main man Felix is going to the same arm wrestling club that I am, or rather I'm going to the same arm wrestling club as the champ. So I just want to shout out the main man. And on that same topic, on the left arm, of course, I need to shout out my other main man. Let me check it. It's gonna be on the 75, I believe he was in. No? Maybe I'm misremembering. I do know. Oh no, he was in juniors. I forgot. He was in junior class. Well, you won't see him here, but you will see him in Hardanger Open. His name is Nathan in English, and he's amazing on that left arm. Be on the lookout. That guy has a future. He's really amazing. So do not get confused if you see him on that East versus West one day. Really bright future ahead of him. And I believe the same can also be said about Felix. both of them. So we have Nathan. He's like 17 years old currently, and Felix is 19 years old. So we are talking young brutes and really technical on that table. And you raise them young so they can destroy for years to come, you know? They are on that John Brazing supremacy up, up trajectory. Now, enough of the hype. We need to continue. 85 kg, 90 kg, 100, 110, 110 plus. And then we go on the right arm for the ladies. And of course, some of them you will know. Everybody knows Carolina Pettersson. And everybody loves Carolina Pettersson. And of course, on that same coin, we have Victoria Karlsson. And everybody loves Victoria Karlsson as well. We have Elin Jonneheim, the bright future. She faced Heidi Andersson in the final in a death war. And I believe that it was a bit bullshit. Like always, I hate those elbow calls. Why can you not just have the bob be a bob and not call that shit? Let the match develop. Either way, amazing match. The only bad thing for me is that we didn't get to see it go the whole trajectory of it, because it was looking like a really great death war in the center. They both kind of blocked each other. And then Heidi Andersson, she hasn't been in the game for a long time, so she accidentally bobbed her elbow and she went out just like that. 2 fouls and the win to Elin Jonneheim. And of course, on the right arm, Fia Isaac, placing on that golden spot. We also saw Malin Bergström, our very great Malin. She's also from the same club. Beautiful to see her taking that golden medal. And then we have the right arm at 90 and then 90 plus. That's pretty much everything for the Swedish nationals. Of course, the matches will be coming out. As you saw, Swedish Arm Wrestling already covered the left arm finals. He has posted that out. And eventually, I believe that he will post the right arm also, of course. And if anything else, if we go back to here, and then I can go to Instagram and let me check it. He should be right here somewhere. Swedish arm wrestling. Yes, very good. So if I go back, Booyakasha. Here he has even more coverage. You can see him placed in the podium. Great work, as I said before as well. Really beautiful to see. And then we have Felix Syrian right here. He's also going to be on the Hardinger Open against Kaspar Gravis. Really great puller. We'll see how that match goes. It's going to be really intense, I believe. And as you can see, the Swedish Arm Wrestling channel covers a lot of them. And this Heidi Andersson versus Elin Jonneheim on that dead center war. Yeah, it was so fun, man. So fun. So good stuff to see, really. With that being said, we move on to the next target of this live stream. Like I said, I wanted to talk about the arm wrestling scene a little bit more in general. Not only what we have on the daily report, but also in what I like to call the mega report. So on the mega report, if we go to date published oldest, as you will see, we have had Matt Mask do the callouts. We have had Brad Grundy face Wallace Dilly in an insane match where Brad Grundy couldn't do anything. I was like, what is going on? He was completely blocked. He was getting outraised, failing all the time, elbow fouls all the time, insane stuff. That being said, we also did get to see right here, concrete elbow. We could see about Brian Shaw and his training, that he's a big, strong bastard. And that was Devon that said it, not me. Blackbird released his prediction, his cinematic masterpiece, as I like to call it, on the Devon versus Vitali right-hand match. We had Isa and Hermes releasing a bit of training with John Brezink and a bit of philosophy. And that was some really good stuff. We have Sabin Badulescu arm wrestling with the one and only Svetan Gashevsky. And why? Oh, why is Svetan still not invited in the main organization? We need him. We desperately need him. I feel like I want more Gashevsky in my life. Svetan, bring Svetan back. He's such a great puller. Oh man. Then we have the regionals. It was Marcio Barbosa versus Hunter Knopfs. We had inside arm wrestling with Greg. He was presenting what is going on currently in the US, and they are going to hold 2 tournaments, if I remember correctly. And on the, not the Mike Gould Classic, but his brother, I believe, he's also going to hold an arm wrestling tournament in Ontario, Canada. Really good stuff. And thus we continue with Devon, talking about perhaps doing some pronation lifts in the future, where he just maxes out once. We had East vs West posting the King of the Table 5 match with Khalid, Jassel, and Schoolboy. And there we continue on the same trajectory, where Brazilian arm wrestler is also talking about the lift, the pronation lift. Then we have the weigh-in and arm measurements with Hermes Gasparini and Brian Shaw, where they check Brian Shaw's measurements. And we had a really impressive showing where he has grown in his wrists and his forearms with like 2, 3, 4 centimeters or some crazy number. Like, my man has been on it for 2 years and already he's becoming bigger than before. What is going on? Then we have some arm wrestling news. And Arm Wrestling News actually made a really interesting video later down the road. Let me get back to that video, or let me actually talk about that video real quick. If he still has it, it will be interesting if he removed it. I don't think he did. Arm Wrestling News. Oh yeah, biggest lie exposed. This one. It was a number on Devon and his endurance not being a real issue, you know? That was really weird video to see, because Devon, he does gas his opponents. Even when he's stronger, you can see his opponents fading. It's not like he takes control on the first round and it is already over. You can just see them break down more and more during the match. And you can see the only times that Devon has ever gassed out is when he's fighting in positions that he's not used to. And that's every arm wrestler. If you put an arm wrestler that is not used into a press position and they have to press, you will gas quicker, because that's just how arm wrestling muscles work. So Devon does have better endurance than most athletes on his main position, just like most arm wrestlers have more endurance on their positions that they train. He just has better endurance than that. And you can see how he breaks everybody down on that main fundamental that is the rise. And everybody trains the rise. So yeah, that was a weird one. Really bizarre to see. I don't know exactly like the target with that video. I think he was just trying to create a bit of general like chaos and discussion. I don't know what to call it. But all that being said, let's go on to the next videos real quick. So we had a lot of stuff going on right from that Neil Pickup Live that he did, where they were discussing about how Devon is currently training a bit more specialized for Vitali, and he posted the stuff, as you can see in the concrete elbow videos, and Tom Stubblebine covered as well, where you can see him hooking a lot more. Now, talking about great arm wrestling, we had Hollywood Matt Connolly keep posting stuff from the AWE arm wrestling. We have Mac on that same problem that Greg's channel has. They also need to put some title cards. It will be pretty nice to have so that it becomes easier to follow. Oh no, what is going on? Oh no, my live stream. Did my live stream crash? This is horrible. No, okay, I'm back. I'm back, guys. I'm back. Oh my god. Not good. I have to check what happened. Everything is crumbling. Oh no. Okay, no, it's still on. Okay, we are safe. Oh, and I can see that the live is also starting in like 2 minutes. So I'll just keep going at it. Just for a while longer. Through the Fingers podcast, posting together with Ian Carnegie. That was also really fun to see. And the episode with Katie Hanke was also really fun to see in Hollywood Matt Connolly's channel. It's really good to see females talking about arm wrestling and their perspective on the whole situation. And she wasn't even like, she was really good. She had strength when she started, but she was still like getting beat up until she trained it more for a couple of years and then actually started placing well in the States. And even then, she's not like a top competitor, but at the same time, her experience is that she got into arm wrestling and she was handed matches and she was well respected in the community. And that's something very important, that you can become stronger, you can become more capable, you can grow within this community, and you can also become a better person through the arm wrestling community. And that's something that we really need to like show the younger generations, both the female younger generation but also the male. And because it's sports, it's also connected with health. And I know we make a lot of jokes about like the elbows and stuff like that, but if you train responsibly and if you like release a bit of the ego and train a bit more scientifically based, but for arm wrestling, you can still keep health even after a lot of years of doing it. And one of the greatest examples for that is, of course, Todd Hutchings. Now, rant aside, we go on to the next. As you can see, there are a lot of videos. The arm wrestling world has really been active in the last couple of weeks. And in my mind, the biggest, most hype stuff currently, we have Bogdan Stoica that releases this series where he's explaining everything that is going on when it comes to training. Then we have the Vitaly versus Devon match that's gonna go crazy because both will come into exceptional shape and they have really good styles for each other. We have, of course, John Brzenk on perhaps him making a comeback. We have Shaw and his whole team of strongmen coming into arm wrestling, especially Terry Hollands. Such an amazing dude. And he's stepping into arm wrestling and he has that same level of commitment that Brian has. It's going to be great to see. Of course, we have Michael Todd and the whole situation with him cutting down and becoming stronger in the 115 category. And then eventually, if he can help it, climb up to the super heavyweights again and go for Levan. We have, of course, Alizan versus Morozov. We have Brian Shaw versus Leonidas. We have Mindaugas versus Makarov. Philip Larsson continuing to grow his channel and making really fun stuff straight from Sweden. Let's go party Sweden. Woo! And then, of course, if we continue, we have the match that will happen between Yanis Amolins and, of course, Prodigy, Kirsten Prodigy. Another great match. Andriy Smaev on that, like, not so cut in stone, not so clear, like, shape that he will come in when it comes to his match that he will have in East versus West. I don't know what will happen. And then lastly, we have Todd Hutchings, of course. And Todd Hutchings discussing on how the Petrenko match really wasn't at all close. And he believed that even on his category at the 95, he will probably get decimated even there. And right now, Oleg Petrenko is a puzzle that Todd Hutchings needs to really solve. So a lot of great stuff happening. Matt Mask also did stem cells and he is feeling great for this upcoming match. And with that being said, of course, the main organization have started with this live right now. They are starting. We're waiting for them and they'll be in. So we like that shit and we go watch that. Swiftly, I will just recommend that you go and check out their posts because they do put up new stuff all the time, just like this East vs West 24 announcement, June 6th in Little Rock, Arkansas. And then we also will know that King of the Table has now officially become a tournament series, and it will be back on June the 5th, so one day before the East vs West 24 event. And with that being said, right now East vs West 23 has released all the matches of the event, and this will be the timing for it all. You can get the pay-per-view right here in this link. And if you use the code MythosArts, you get a 5% off like always, and you can do that as well for merch and the general store if you need to get tickets to get there. And lastly, we have all the cards right here, all the matches. I know I said I will discuss the matches, but we didn't really have time for that. The report was mega, as Neil Pickup would say. So we will do the matches in the coming days, slowly but surely. With that all being said, this will start, and that will be Mythos out. See you around, and peace out. Booyakasha. Is this still on? What happened? Is the live still on? What is going on? Oh no. Lastly, the match that you... What is going on? Mythos. 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 Oh, I think the live actually broke. No. Well, good stuff. I did do the recording. So for those that didn't get the full live, I will just release it again. Don't worry about it. So now for real, see you around.